Today, on the Tom West Show, we had the privilege of sitting down with two sisters that own a soulful coffee shop called Nirvana. What you will hear is the climate that it took to forego and open the shop during civil and injustice, along with the pandemic. Without further ado, Nirvana.
We're
That
grinding.
just definitely seems like a lot. Seems like you guys are working hard, right? But seems like it's paying off, right?
Yeah,
It is.
absolutely.
It's not work when it's your baby though, you know. So
That's
that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, working hard for yourself is completely different than
It's
working hard for
different,
someone else's dream.
absolutely, and that's I respect that. And when he actually talked to me about this episode, I was impressed. Like I always respect and tip my hat to business owners, especially Black business owners and Black female business owners. So it was extremely something that I was intrigued and anxious to be a part of. So again, I'm just glad to have you guys on today, and we can definitely get into it.
Fantastic. Now, will you give us a little background about yourself, your show, and what you're looking to get out of the episode?
Okay, so a little bit of background of the show. It's this is the third episode, so we had a few episodes before this, and we're basically just trying to reach out as in reference to the community. So the community, and we're trying to showcase especially Black talent. So with you guys being having a shop downtown San Jose, and me coming to San Jose from Jersey, it seems like to me that there's a shortage here in San Jose of Black-owned businesses to me. But so you guys seem like you're like well represented. So I would definitely just wanted to sit down and talk with you guys and kind of get your story out there too. Just
Future upcoming Black business owners, or people that's ready to do it, because we did notice that you guys, this was what, 10 years in the making.
At least.
Yeah, at least.
Veronica's been in coffee for 17 years, so really, really long.
That and that's the beauty of it, because I know at times people become a little discouraged over that time frame of that, trying to put something like that into fruition. So I would definitely like to hear how you guys just stayed the course. Now I did read about the different jobs and avenues that you guys have been down. But at the end of the day, you were always focused on getting the shop up and running. So
Yep.
could you give the audience and the listeners a little, I guess I want to say, history about when you guys first said, you know what, let's do this, and the planning of doing it, in addition to things that in your life, because we all have personal lives. So I know when you're trying to focus on that business, it's other things that you have responsibilities and other things that may sidetrack you, but you guys are up and running. And what kept you afloat and focused to make this happen?
Yeah, well, this is Jonathan here. I just want to give you guys a little background, like how we got here first. So I'm 35, and I've been trying to open up this coffee shop for a long time, being in the industry for 17 years. When I was trying to open in San Jose, but I didn't know anyone that owned a business. I couldn't find anyone that was down, would be willing to sit down and talk to me about how to get the business started. And I really just didn't know the questions to ask. So out of discouragement, I decided to put that dream on hold and go to school and get my degree. And meanwhile, I was still working in coffee shops. And then I would leave and go to a different job because I wanted to make more money. But then that fire inside of me, wanted to still have a coffee shop, just never went away. And that's the one thing, like, in my life, I was like, this is like something I know I want to do. So when I moved back to San Jose about 3 years ago, Bianca, maybe 3.5 years
around
ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah, I was still on this journey working in coffee shops, and I was just like, I want to open a coffee shop. And then it was just timing. I think Bianca was in a time in her life where she was like, yeah, looks like I want to help you. Like, let's figure this out and let's really do it. And that took a little stress off of my shoulders, because now I'm like, okay, this is someone who's like, one, my sister, two, that knows I've been really grinding it out and that really believes in me. So now it started to feel real because I'm like, okay, I have a partner. She's going to hold me accountable and we're going to hold each other accountable. And we're really going to just try to figure this thing out together.
Okay.
Right. And let's just stay on that topic as a timing. So with everything going on, COVID-19 and just the pandemic, you guys thought that this was a great time to open up, or like how did you guys go through that process, and what was going on in your mind when you
we got a
you're combing
pandemic.
that
Let's
over?
open up a coffee shop. People gonna drink coffee and just talk about what's going on.
To be fair, we would have opened under any conditions.
We were already too deep in it.
We were in so deep.
It wasn't going back. You can no turning back now, right?
The wheels were off, right?
Yeah. So the pandemic is obviously raging. Just today it was announced that we're back in purple tier. So restrictions are coming back to keep people home and safe and all those things. But we would have never anticipated anything of this magnitude. And when we started 2 years ago, we were patiently waiting for keys to anywhere at any time. So when we got our loan, our SBA loan, shelter in place, I think, had just been enacted.
Yeah.
And so if we were going to give up, that would have been the point to do it.
Right.
But we had already committed and promised ourselves that we weren't going to stop no matter what. So we just put it out there and hope for the best. And we've been very, very fortunate ever since.
Absolutely.
That's a wonderful thing. I mean, with everything, and one thing I know, the whole COVID and everything, but also, you know, the protesting and
all
things
the
of that
social
nature. Like,
injustice.
were you guys? Did that kind of put a little caution, like a red flag to you guys? Like, we just opened this place up. We don't need people coming down here and wrecking shop and things. Like, what was the mindset during that time?
Yeah, I think too. I think maybe I have my own answer. Bianca might have a little different answer for me, but we weren't worried about it. I don't know why. We just kind of were going through it, and then we're seeing how things were going with the protesting and everything that was going on, and then we kind of just started to feel like we wanted people to come to the shop for hope, to see what hope could be, you know,
Right.
and to just bring people together, everybody, and that's just what we were looking to. Like the whole time, doing like everything that's been going on, we still wanted to provide a place of peace and hope.
Yeah, our shop is a happy place.
Right.
So regardless of what's going on outside of our shop, the energy you feel as soon as you walk in is hopeful and inspirational.
Yeah.
And people tell us all the time, they just feel good when they come in there, and that's exactly what we wanted.
I see that, because I see you guys are heavily in tune with the community. It looks like the purpose of this coffee shop is not only for your own self prosperity and dreams, but also too, it's like you guys are really trying to bring the community together. And that's what I got from reading your blogs and everything on your site.
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys that. Do you feel like this everything's reciprocated from the community, the things you guys put out? Because you put out a lot of good stuff, and it feels warm. I was wondering.
A lot of good energy. Yeah, like a lot of energy and love, it seems like, for that community, and what Nirvana Soul represents for the community, and what you wanted to represent, should I say, for the community.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were just telling our story. We knew that we wanted the shop to reflect us. And so we're like bright and bubbly people. And so when we started telling our story and sharing on social, we just slowly built up a following of just like friends and family. And then it was a few strangers, and that was such a big deal. And we got to 500 followers and 1,000 followers. And then there's tweets that go viral. And the whole thing was just San Jose being very, very proud to have something like this in our city. There's not a ton of stuff going on in San Jose. There's a few things if you know it and if you're from here. But in a lot of ways, it feels like a ghost town, especially to people who aren't from here.
Yeah, so, it does. Kind of does a little bit, you know, especially now, right?
Right? It's not like other big cities. It's kind of a small town for a big city. And so for people to be here and from here and not have to travel to San Francisco or to Oakland or something like that just to experience what we're providing, it makes us all feel good. And I think we all, from the people who followed us to us and our family, we all feel like we built this shop together, and now we have a piece of San Jose.
Yeah.
So question for you guys. So Do you and are both of you guys in the shop every day, or is it one more than the other?
Yeah, so this is me, Veronica. I'm definitely in the shop all
Every
the
day.
time.
Well,
The thing
you
about
missed one day off anyway, so I got that.
Had two. Yesterday was your day.
so Sundays moving forward, you will not find me. In the shop on Sunday. On Sundays, I just need to take a step back and have like a self-care moment. So Sundays is just definitely my day. But then again, I'm the one that has a coffee experience too. And so that's kind of why it just happened.
Yeah, I always ask people, what would I do in the shop? Because I don't make drinks. I'm not a barista. I can barely use the register. I'm super nervous.
But
just sit there and smile, right?
Yeah, just get
smile,
the energy.
Right?
You got the Nirvana Soul energy.
All I do is hang out and talk to people.
That's it. That's the energy.
That's what I bring to the table.
Yeah. I mean, Bianca is like, I'm not really a tech savvy person. Bianca handles all of our social media, all of the artwork that you see in the shop, like things like that. That's what she does. She's really.
It's a team. So everybody got their niche. Everybody got their
position. Everybody has their thing. Yep.
So let me ask you this, Veronica, since you're there pretty much every day except for Sundays moving forward, do you see regulars, like daily regulars, customers? All right. Now my next question is, what about the coffee is bringing them back? And I only say that because I'm gonna confess, I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm a hot chocolate guy, which I see you do have on the menu. So I thank you for the hot chocolate, and I hope I can get it with almond milk. Is that an option?
I'm about to put you on macadamia milk.
Really? Macadamia milk?
Yeah, it's a little bit better.
Yeah,
it's a little bit better for you.
Over to the macadamia.
Look, it took me some time to get even acclimated to the almond, so I don't know about this whole macadamia thing right now, but I'll try it. I'll see what's going on.
Because it's fire. It's really good.
So it is. The question I'm asking is because I love Curb Your Enthusiasm, right? And there was an episode where Larry was opening up his coffee shop to compete, and he went to like some function at some resort in an island, and he tasted the coffee, and him and JB Smooth brought back a whole bunch of beans. So is there something special about your beans, your brew, that you can say definitely is part of the reason that, besides the aura and the comfort zone of Nirvana Soul, that brings the customers back?
Our beans are actually really good because we have an amazing roaster, but I think that we like to have fun with the customers. So like we have like a generic menu board that is out there because you have to have a menu board when you open up a coffee shop. When you open up a restaurant, you have to have a menu. But we also like to have fun with the customers, and we have like basically make your own drink up, and I'm like, well, what if you try, beet with like chocolate, or because we'll have certain flavors in the shop, but it's not really a drink, and we'll just kind of let the customers decide if that's going to be something that's kind of like on our secret menu. Then you start telling their friends, and then all of a sudden it's like a thing, and that makes it fun, and so those are the regulars, like, oh, I went there and you have to try this drink with this kind of milk. And I think that's that. It's like we're really including everything that we do in the shop is really kind of including the customers in it. So it's like it's everyone's shop.
Right.
Seriously. So I think the beans are great about that, but it's a part of just like making people feel included. And I think people really, that's what they want. They want to feel included. They want to feel like they're a part of something.
Absolutely.
And so I think that we do a good job of bringing people in that way.
Great. So another question I had. So could you guys speak to some of the challenges you had, opening up the shop, and some of the lows, if you guys had any, and how did you kind
of... Bianca, you want to go?
Yeah. So the most challenging part of all of this for us was funding the dream, right? So there was so much we had to save, and then we wanted to get a loan, and then we had to reach out to friends and family. We're not people who come from money, so reaching out and asking for help.
Family thing is that's huge, right? Especially when you're talking money, and then it gets a little
help. Right? It's weird. They want to help, but often they also can't help. Everyone has their own things going on. Right. So that was by far the hardest part. And then once we start dealing with like the government and lenders, you really find that you have to pretty much be perfect.
Wow.
Like there were so many times when Dronica and I were like, who could be better candidates for this than us? Like Dronica has coffee experience, I have marketing experience. Like we had so many things that we brought to the table to ensure that we would be able to secure a loan. And anyone from the outside looking in would have definitely thought we would get one easily, but it wasn't easy. You know, it took us the greatest part of it, probably 6 months or so, just to secure that SBA loan. And that was after almost a year of trying to save our own money to even be able to go to a lender and say, we're ready to apply for an SBA loan. Yeah. So that was definitely the hardest part, and one that we talk about a lot because we just want to help other people understand the steps and what it takes to finally get the loan you need to even open a brick and mortar location.
So speaking towards funding, so you think the funding, since the funding took the longest, what do you think was the holdup? Or what was the hang up with the funding? What was the determining factor with that?
I know exactly where you're going. Like, are there stipulations for the brown and black people? Like, what happened?
Did you feel that? Did you feel like that was a concern? Did you feel like that was a thing? Was that a concern, or was it just the funds will be available once you guys do XYZ, or once you guys have this amount of time, or how did you feel that process was?
It was a little bit of both, right? So we don't talk a lot about this part of it, right? Because it's something you can't really prove, but the only things that we know for sure is that Black and brown people do receive fewer SBA loans, right? I also work in tech, so I know that Black women receive a very small percentage of VC funding. It's just a known thing. So those are things we're very comfortable sharing because you can look that up anywhere. It's just the truth. And so along our journey, of course, there's times that we felt like things might be different if we were different. But there's nothing that we can really do about that. So we chose to suck it up. Ran into an obstacle, we had to stop, because we can't change what we look like.
Definitely.
We don't ever make any sort of excuses, especially around things that we have no real facts for, just feelings. And so we couldn't let our feelings or our ego get in the way of us doing what needed to be done to secure this loan. And that's what we did, was basically just keep going, which is the most important part to starting a business, is just not giving up. And that's what we did.
True. That's you have to have grit, right? And you have to have all of that stuff especially when you're getting sidetracked by certain things. Another question I want: did you guys ever get any assistance from the PPP, the protection program? Because I've heard of so many stories about certain businesses did and certain businesses didn't, and the way they structured it behind the loan. You don't have to pay back if you keep your employees, or if you do, it's just a 1%. Did you guys ever benefit from that or apply from that?
The thing is, we didn't really qualify for it because we weren't open yet when things happened. I think you had to be in
open
business
for a year.
Yeah, for a year. I think that was the thing, to be open for a year. So we didn't qualify for that at all.
We'll probably have another shot coming up, I think. Biden, I think we'll have another stimulus package.
Definitely, I think we'll still be in this situation in a few months from now. So if it comes back around, we would definitely be applying.
Yeah, for sure.
I just think it's just impressive that you guys have weathered that storm and you're still here. The energy sounds wonderful. Like that's a beautiful thing, man. It's very inspiring. Absolutely inspiring. Absolutely.
So another question. So your friends and family, do they, I know they all support it. Do they visit you guys often, or how was that? Does that work out that way?
You're going to the shop and our friends and family going to be there. There's somebody that we're related to that's going to be in
this our shop. This is our shop. This is, we Nirvana. This is all our shop.
So like the baristas will always say to like Dronica, oh my God, you know everybody, because we constantly have people coming in who know it. We're from San Jose, so it's so easy for us to recognize somebody or went to high school with somebody. Like that's just what it is all day long.
Yeah, it's a very popular shop. I get visitors from dogs, all types of babies. They got us a lot going on.
Yeah, I did see the dogs in there. I did. Yeah. Couple shots of the dog.
We love dogs.
Yeah, we love dogs. The dogs hella love the shop too. I don't know. I don't know if it's the colors. I don't know if it's the plants.
They like somebody gonna walk me.
Yeah, somebody
gonna walk me in here. But question, Nirvana, how did you guys come up with that name?
That's so funny. So, you know, that name is like 10 years old. So I came up, I was trying to look for like the best story to tell for this because I wanted something that was like uplifting. And then I was like something paradise, something that bring people together. And then I just like went on the thesaurus and, did a Google search or whatever. And other words for Nirvana was, for paradise was Nirvana, which was like, in Buddha, it's like a Buddhist term, and it means like, completeness, like closest to God. And I was like, oh, that just sounds nice. And then the soul part, we just added to it because I just felt like it just sounded.
That's part. Yeah, that's it right there.
So and I just always kept that name. It was like in every notebook, and I just held on to it. And I started telling people that I realized the more I started speaking about it, I was like, Nirvana Soul just sounds right. And I love that name.
And what also, to top it off, is the playlist, the music. That's listen, y'all doing it. I'm telling you, like that puts it all together. Like from the description of how the name came about to who's in there to the music,
the look,
like
it's
I'm telling you, like you said, people want that environment that they feel comfortable in, that they want to come to every day. I think that's awesome. That's definitely awesome.
Thank you. A lot of that is due to Dronica and her great taste in music. Honestly, all we spent the quarantine doing was listening to music and working on the business. And even before we opened, we had put out a playlist of some of the vibes we were listening to. And having the opportunity to play what you like, when I know Dronica's worked in shops where that's been like frowned upon to play what she likes. On this place, so hey,
you need the music, man. The music is part of that melanin. It gets it going, so you need that music.
Yeah,
it's an experience. I still struggle with music because when you're told for so long, like what music's not okay,
they get that.
Like, and I'm like, I just feel like some people want to hear Wu-Tang.
They do. People do want to hear Wu-Tang. That's for sure. That's definite. Yeah, people want to hear that. Yeah, I do anyway.
So it's just moments like that. It's like kind of having fun, and it's just freedom and being okay. It's like I don't like this, and I'm like, you know what? That's okay, because there's a lot of coffee shops around us, and I'm okay saying that too.
And Veronica, I was about to lead into that. So now, having Nirvana Soul and looking back on all those coffee shops you worked in, what are you thinking? What are you saying? I know you and Bianca had this conversation. Like,
what do you mean?
When you look back, coffee
you
shops
can always
that you used to work
brew,
at,
right?
Right.
Your brew and what you have going on is 10 times better, right? You have to tell us that, right? I'm sure that's what you're thinking, right?
I couldn't play this music. Now I'm playing it. When I was working at that, when I couldn't do this, now I'm doing this, and it's better. Like,
is there some satisfaction in that? I'm sure. Right?
It's more like a statement,
but
right?
Also, said that there is enough room for everybody.
Absolutely.
And
definitely.
You feel that thing, you can
definitely. Definitely not from a perspective of being just competitive with them. I'm just speaking about the whole process and just looking back on.
Well, I've worked in a lot of different coffee shops. A lot of times I've been the only one of color. And so I've been fired from coffee shops too, So I've been in just a lot of different situations.
And she's always told them that she was going to open Nirvana Soul.
Yeah, I've always.
That's good. You should have, yeah. See, because you did.
You'd be like, I'm gonna have my own shop.
No, I would. Like in the interview, I'm like, yeah, I could work here, but I'm not open up.
Oh, you come right out with that on the interview, yeah? Okay.
Right. They're like, can you be one of the last jobs I had? He was like, can you be the manager? And I'm like, no, I want to go back down to being a barista. But I need a mentor. Can you show me what you did?
Wow.
Can you tell me
what you did? Willing to do
your
that.
shop, open my shop, And so it's beautiful. It's just like the other day I was just like, all the experiences I've had, all the ups and downs and everything like that. When I lay in my bed at night, tired as I might be, there's nothing like owning your own business, and you're getting to do it with like your best friend. Like Bianca and I are only 11 months apart, and even though she's not in the shop, she handles a lot of shit that that I couldn't even imagine. You know, she like, so I don't have to worry about it because I'm able to focus on and be in the moment with the staff, with the customer, just really executing my part of this business is making sure that people are getting an amazing experience when they come in the shop. And so I have that peace of mind knowing that other things that are being handled by Bianca. There's nothing better than that.
Yeah, I understand. What's the favorite brew? Like, what's the spotlight of what you guys probably like sell the most, or what's popular? Is there popular?
With coffee, probably the Simpatico. The Simpatico, the regular, just like if you were to go and buy coffee, the Simpatico is probably the crowd's favorite. If you're getting a latte, we have a celebration latte, which I thought that I was just going to make. And I didn't know how it would be. I just thought it would be fun to have a celebration latte because we were celebrating opening up this shop. And it's a cake batter latte that I make. And it instantly became a hit.
Is that what you drink? Do you guys drink that too? Yeah.
Yeah, we have it at the shop. I'm hella like old school. I'm like, I just want my coffee black, no sugar.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to be fancy, I'll do like an Africano, which most people call a cortado, or a little cappuccino, but nothing. I'm not really a sweet coffee
drinker
drinker
my
like
coffee
that.
game up,
but
man.
Yeah, you need to express
I don't know nothing she talking about.
You gotta
right
drink a
now.
cappuccino.
I gotta get my
That's something
coffee
you
game
might
up.
like. A cappuccino with almond milk, that might do it for you.
No, I'm just give me the hot chocolate with the almond milk, with the macadamia milk and the waffles. I got the waffles too. I saw.
Yeah. Smoothies too, and the smoothies are fire too. So if you want to switch it up one day, then we got you.
Right. So I got one more question for you guys. This is something just like to ask as we close up. The question is, what's the best purchase you guys ever made under $100?
That's a great question. Most of the things I get are super cheap, bro.
I mean, it could be anything in life. It doesn't have to be related to coffee or the shop, anything.
Oh, okay. Sure. If it was related to the shop, I was going to say the area right upstairs.
Oh yeah, that was a good buy.
There you go. That's one.
Over 100. Like,
you got to take us out hella blue. I don't have nothing.
He was about to jump out the window on that one, huh? He's like,
shoot, this is hard.
This is hard. Oh, my glasses.
Oh, yeah, your glasses.
Instagram like it sold me, and I needed new glasses. And right before the shelter in place happened, I had went to the eye doctor and got some glasses, but they never came, and they took forever, and I really couldn't see. And Instagram heard what I was for. They heard me, and so I came up on the deal, and it was like 2 pair, and it was like $80, and they just I just sent them my subscription. And they came back, and I just love both pair of my glasses.
Nice.
Under $100.
Under $100, and I feel like I'm about to order some more. I feel like I want to get. It's kind of fun to switch up your glasses. If you have to wear glasses every day, then it's kind of fun to have.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, I'm not there yet, but I think it's coming.
It might be there, man. You might be in denial.
It might be, man.
It's all right.
I gotta live with it.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Bianca, she's struggling.
No, because I'm such a minimalist. I don't buy a lot of stuff. I guess. Like I can go to a Target run and do a lot of
but
$100.
Target a little bit on the high end side too. Sometimes, man. You go in there.
We lying. We don't never.
You like, I didn't mean to spend all that. I was coming in for milk. Like,
exactly, every time. I really don't think I have an answer. Yeah. I was going to say my leather jacket, I think was probably around that, and I love that leather jacket, and I thought I lost it in the move.
There you go. Understood.
There you go. The leather jacket.
The leather
jacket and glasses.
And glasses.
2 pair of glasses.
2 pair of glasses. And more on the way. Right?
Yeah. On a Sunday off.
I'm thinking about the reflection though. Get my life.
Get your life together.
Now you got Sundays off. You be all right. You can do that.
Yeah, that's me.
There you go, definitely. It was great sitting down with you guys. We love the fact that you guys were able to talk to us and just give the community a sense of what's going on out there and everyone else that hears this podcast, because a lot of times I think certain stories are not heard. Like I seen you guys coming that, you guys were posting about this coffee shop, and I go to Starbucks, every once in a while. I'm not a huge coffee drinker. I like cappuccinos, but it's just like very corporate dead feel. I work in corporate, so it's just the whole feel of Starbucks to me is just like, I don't know, it's like no soul. You know what I mean? Like 100% different from what you guys got going on. Yeah.
It's not Starbucks Soul.
Definitely.
Well, thank you for having us. We enjoyed chatting with you today.
Absolutely. We appreciate it. And, we just wish y'all the best with Nirvana Soul. I'm gonna come in there next time I'm on the West Coast when I go see my cousin, and I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna start off with the hot chocolate and the macadamia milk, and then we'll experiment with some coffee later. We can do that on the next.
Okay.